Welcome to parts number 12 of the Legend of Zelda Swordless challenge. We're heading back to temple number 6 to get the final piece of the Triforce. And it's just like last time. There's a bunch of wizards that need to be defeated with bombs, and there's really not that much for me to talk about. So instead of talking about stuff that you can easily see on screen by yourself, unless you're blind of course, but I don't think there's any blind people that watch my videos, or they can't watch because they're blind. I don't think there's any blind people that listen to my videos, but if there are, that's cool, I guess. As I was saying, instead I'm going to talk about why I don't really like this game that much. I kind of touched upon this topic in the last video, but now I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. Now, I do consider this game to be a classic, and I do think it did a lot for gaming, but as a game, I don't really like it that much. And I think the main reason is the control. Now, a lot of people like to complain about how the dungeons are hard to figure out, or hard to figure out where they are. Like, the final dungeon is hard to find, and all the hidden bushes and stuff that you have to burn and all the secret passageways. Some people would say that that's unfair, it's unreasonable for people to figure that out, but I really don't have a problem with that. Especially in today's world where we have the internet and we can just look up something if we can't figure out how to do it. So I don't think that's a valid complaint, but the control really kills it for me. You see, the thing is, I grew up on A Link to the Past, and in A Link to the Past, you have the fluid controls. I mean, you can go in all 8 directions, and it just feels so, it feels perfect. It feels right. I feel like it just, you control so perfectly. But then you come back to playing this game, and you can only move in 4 directions, and even the sword swinging feels kinda like, it just doesn't feel right. Because in pretty much every Legend of Zelda game, after this, you have a swing attack. I mean, you swing the sword. But in this game, you kind of thrust the sword, so it feels like, it just feels stiff. I mean, the movement, it feels like you're locked in a grid, and like, it's hard to explain. If you've played the game, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's hard for me to come back and play this game after experiencing all the great controls of A Link to the Past, and then some of the later games like Minish Cap and Link's Awakening. It's hard for me to come back to this and enjoy it because the controls feel kinda stiff. And also, the game itself, I'm not gonna lie, it's not that interesting. I love the overworld. I think it's great, but the dungeons, they all kind of feel the same, and there's not much variety, and you kind of see the same enemies over and over again, and it just feels, I don't know, I don't think it's that fun. Is it the worst Legend of Zelda game? Absolutely not. I don't think this game is bad by any means, and I don't want to give off that impression. I don't think this game is bad. It's not. But compared to some of the other Legend of Zelda games in the future, like A Link to the Past, this game just kind of feels, you know, outdated, obsolete. I would much rather play those games instead of this one, just because the controls are better, and it just feels better because the environments just feel a lot, they feel more rich. They feel like they're different from each other. And in this game, the dungeons don't feel like they're any different, except for the last one. And that's only because the music changes. And that's another thing. The music in this game, pretty lacking. I mean, you have the typical dungeon theme, which is okay, but it gets kind of annoying after you hear it 8 times. You have the overworld theme, which is awesome. I love that theme. And we'll be hearing that theme in every Legend of Zelda game because it's classic. Then we have the end theme, the title screen theme. I love the title screen theme. Awesome. But, so the music is okay. It could use a few more tracks to make it a little bit better. But overall, this game, it's not bad. I don't want to make it sound like it's bad. It's just nowhere near as good as some of the other Legend of Zelda games. I mean, this series is... A lot of people consider the Zelda series to be the best series of all time, so you're gonna have some fantastic games, and this one, it just doesn't stack up. It's just not as good as the other ones. And that's why I don't really like playing it that much. Anyways, the boss of dungeon number 6, it is, I forgot the name of it, but you just shoot an arrow into its eye and then it dies. The end. Very simple. And with that, we have completed the Triforce, and we will be heading to dungeon number 9, the final dungeon, in the finale of the Legend of Zelda Swordless Challenge. I'll see you then.